Hello everyone, I'm Chrissy and welcome to my show. So we have lots in store. I always say that because we always do have lots and lots in store for the show today. First of all, we have the news with Ian and Helena.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Why are you waving at me? You need to wave at me.
I'm sorry.
Look, don't ignore our viewers.
Hello.
How are you both?
We're
Very
fine.
well.
So I can see we're always
Very
excited to have
to
you
be
on the
here.
show. They love being on the show and I love them being on the show. Okay, and I'll also be interviewing girl group Deltamore, who will also be performing for us later on. I'll also be joined by former care worker Catherine Scott, who says that care work shouldn't be looked down on, and she'll be telling us why later. And we'll also speak with Ryan Ball about how he uses his passion for writing and singing to raise money and awareness for pancreatic cancer research. We'll also be learning how to make traditional Indian pilau rice with award-winning cookery book writer Mridula Baujakar. Her rice is amazing.
Yum.
So nice. I mean, the whole meal was amazing, but you know, that was
That's it, make us hungry.
Always at this time.
Should we try and take... Actually, I didn't have my dinner before I came. I normally do, and I'm really hungry now.
We're all hungry.
So let's forget food, and shall we go over to the news?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, starting with Victoria Beckham, very glamorous Victoria Beckham.
Yes.
She's auctioning off 600 of her special boutique outfits for charity, which is great. So they're going under auction now for tons and tons of money,
cool.
but it's actually going to a charity called Woman to Woman, which is actually an AIDS charity in South Africa.
Oh, right,
but she
great.
travelled there some time ago and decided she wanted to help. But she's got these amazing designer clothes. You know, I was about to say Steve McQueen, but Alexander McQueen, as we know, Kate Middleton's favourite. And so there's going to be some amazing outfits. So I hope they raise, you know, a lot of money as well.
Definitely. That's great.
So that's, it is, isn't it? So that's good.
And horses are very much in the news this week. Basically, Peter Phillips.
You love horses, don't you?
I love horses.
Ian wanted to bring a horse onto the show. And
I think this is a great idea.
Just as we sort of finished refurbishing everything, and he decides, I'm going to bring a real horse into the studio to just break up all the cameras.
Not to break them up, just to still prove that you can bring a horse into it. And it's such a good story, Chrissy. We'll get it done one day. We'll have to go down. But there's quite a large show business contingent coming to Horse Guards Parade over the next 10 days. Peter Phillips, the son of Princess Anne, has organised this equestrian event. And people like Bruce Springsteen are here, not to actually go over the jumps, but to support his daughter as well. There's quite a few sort of very well-known rock stars and singers and entertainers who have got daughters now who are really high up in the equestrian world.
I didn't know that.
So
it's
quite
a big event sort of happening.
I think he's planned it. It's been over a year that he's taken to plan it. So now it's exciting, it's happening. But also they've imported all the white sand in for the event, which then all needs to be sent back as well once the event's over. I'm not quite sure where they've imported it from, but...
they're going to import it back after it's been trodden on and like...
Yeah, I think that's what they do with sand.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but moving on, obviously, Princess Anne, as we know, is probably the hardest working royal. She does most charity work. She works ferociously all the time. But very admirable that she's still going to be doing her work in Africa, despite the Ebola virus.
Yeah.
And we've been practicing that word all week, haven't we, Helena?
Yes, as you can see. So I mean that's great. I mean she does so much work and she's not put off at all, and it's quite a severe virus. So good for her.
Yeah, she's brave.
She is.
Very brave.
And I think there's some really interesting stories this week. There was a story about a black actor called David Harewood, who stars in Homewood in America. And he's appeared in quite a few of the detective series in Britain as well. And he says he's not egotistical enough to actually really make it in Hollywood. And so he says that reality these days is that he just wants to support his family. He's just a family man, and he lives in his sort of semi-detached in Streatham. And all he's really doing the acting for is to support his family.
Really?
And pay the mortgage. And I thought that was quite cute, actually.
It's refreshing, isn't it?
It's different. You don't really hear sort of when actors normally really want to make it big and go to Hollywood and be in all these films and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
he secretly wants it. But
But he's done so well over there. And strangely enough, I was talking to sort of someone only yesterday as well, who's a black musician. And they are saying, and I think this is terrible, you know, to be perfectly honest. He's saying that they can only get recognition in America because in Britain they can't get the same recognition.
Really?
And I think that, I think we should embrace all musicians, and we should embrace everybody.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter the colour of their skin, it's the quality of their work and their skill base. I think it's really important.
Absolutely. I think the majority of people do embrace, so don't they? I do think.
You think so, but then you always get those people that like they say,
but you don't want to let them tarnish good
exactly.
work and everything. Yeah, which is great.
Well, all the best to him.
And I think it leads on, if you don't mind, it's very close to my heart. I was shocked recently, and I was talking to one of my friends who's Afro-Caribbean, and he was saying that he has to try 10 times harder than any white person to actually get to where he wants to get to in life. And this thought process has been sort of passed down the generations. And to me, that's not where I thought our world was, And there was a big story this week in that British Vogue haven't used a black girl on their cover since 2002.
Really?
12 years.
Wow. I think Anna Wintour is the chief of Vogue, editor in Vogue, and I think the way the concept is it's the movers and the shakers at the time, or something that they put on the cover. So Naomi Campbell obviously was featured on the cover, but recently we've got Kim Kardashian and Jay-Z. So I don't necessarily think that's 100% true. I think you can sometimes
there is apparently the records show there's a supermodel called Jordan Dunn. Jordan Dunn.
She's a model.
I think my jaw's been undone now. Saying Jordan Dunn. That's Chinese, but she's black. Okay. But she was on the front cover of Vogue, apparently, but she was with 2 white girls as well. Oh. And there was, and what are they thinking about?
I would like to know the storyboard behind that, though, because they do really work on what is injecting the moving, the shaking in the world. So if there's someone that's it's
obviously they influence that as well, don't they? Because
so
if they put someone on a cover of their magazine, that's also going to boost that person up. So maybe it kind of works the other way too. It's a bit.
So it doesn't sit nicely with me, that. If I'm honest, it's sort of strange, and I'm sorry, I don't want to be.
That's fine. No, I'm going to move on now to something completely different. Downton Abbey. Downton Abbey is
I don't
really
watch
fun.
it.
No, you don't watch it. Oh,
sorry,
Chrissy.
I don't have time.
You don't have time. No, well, Downton Abbey. Everyone loves Downton Abbey. It's
except
fun.
Chrissy.
Except for Chrissy.
I probably would love it if I
would. You really would.
My sister's really into stuff like that.
It's really good fun. It's really easy watching. It's sort of set just after the war, I think now.
It is 1920s.
They had a bit of a boob. The new series is coming out, so I'm quite excited. But they did all the PR and they've got all the photographs out and little mini videos promoting it. And nobody realised till it was actually published that there was a plastic water bottle with a little blue lid on the actual lid, which was a mantelpiece. But obviously they have to try and keep everything from the clothes to the whole styling in keeping. And this 40 years later, the plastic bottle came out. And the one with the blue lid is probably now 2014, but and they just suddenly realised, and it's in pure shock, which I think is a really funny story.
Gosh, where was the director?
I don't know, but they missed it. Everyone missed it. Every single person missed it. It's quite easy.
Do you know,
that's funny.
I used to sort of work in sort of those types of television things. And at a time, years ago...
Did you work on Upstairs, Downstairs?
No, I was actually asked to work on Coronation Street when it was still just a Manchester-based one, and they wanted to actually promote it in London. And the photographer in those days got 30 seconds at the end of a day to actually do his stills, and he had to get his... and literally, they turned the lights on for 30 seconds, he got his shot, and then sort of went. So these mistakes can happen. But I was just going to talk very quickly, again, so something that is quite close to my own heart as well, in one way, is Frank Malone now, who has now turned into Kelly. There's this gentleman who's now become a lady who's in the middle of a, sort of changing their sort of personality and changing their sex as well. and I've met quite a few people who've sort of changed sex in their time. And I think good for her now, if I'm honest, because she's found her peace. And they're some of the most bravest people I've ever met, because they go through tremendous amounts of psychological tests, all sorts of things. You know, and to actually sort of finally find your peace, I think is, I just wanted to wish Kelly, because I've actually met her male persona, and I've worked with him several times because he was a big boxing promoter and had world champions. And I just wanted to bless Kelly, because, and I wish her all the best now and find her happiness as well.
Great. Okay. Anything else? I don't know if we've got time for another one.
Yeah. Well, really, just so that everyone should really persevere with their online presence. And
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Okay. Do you know what? There's someone very special whose birthday it is.
That's true.
Actually, seconds.
Should we sing for her? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Helen. Happy birthday to you. Woo! That was the breaking news of today's show, everybody. Thank you very much, Eleanor, for that. That was better than the next piece of news, right? All right, so we do have to go to a break right now, but thank you so much for the news.
No problem.
Do stay tuned, because after the break we'll have our fitness tip from Jane on the importance of cardio fitness, and we'll be joined by Catherine Scott, who says that care work is a noble job. Find out why after this break.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.